Hello and welcome, and in this video I'm going to be telling you about 10 things that you can do in Snowdonia. Now, around a year ago I actually made a video about 10 things that you can do in Snowdonia, and as of right now I think it is the second most popular video on my channel. We had the pleasure of visiting Snowdonia again a couple of weeks ago, and there are way more than 10 things to do here, so without further ado, please subscribe if you enjoy the video and let's begin the list. So, for number one, we have got a mountain, but it is not Mount Snowdon because the mountain that we climbed this time was Glyder Fawr. Now, this is the 5th largest mountain in Snowdonia and it's part of the Glyder range. And it's actually located very close to the iconic Tryfan, which I'm sure any budding mountain climbers will know and love. So, Glyder Fawr is a little bit more difficult than Snowdon and involves a little bit of scrambling to get up. But this video here is pretty much as difficult as it gets, and if I can manage to get up with a camera and all my gear, it can't be that difficult. The first part of the hike, however, is this lovely walk around the lake here, which is called Llyn. And I apologise in advance for my terrible Welsh pronunciation throughout this entire video, most likely. People made sure to let me know in my last video in the comments how bad my Welsh pronunciation was, so feel free to let me know again, but I'm going to try and give it a go as best I can. But yes, Glyder Fawr is number one. So next on the list we have a completely free museum which is located in the amazing village of Lllanberis, and that is the National Slate Museum. Now, you may know about Wales's long history with slate mining, but in case you don't, basically Snowdonia is littered with old abandoned slate quarries, and here is some footage from the Dinorwic slate quarry, which was one of the largest in the world, and I'll be talking about it more later in the video, so stay tuned. But Welsh slate was highly sought after and was shipped all over Europe and into North America as well. The industry started to struggle though due to some terrible working conditions for the miners, which caused consistent strikes and as well as being unable to compete with any slate prices from Asia. But this museum is an amazing look into the lives of the miners and the industry itself, complete with old miners' houses, a fully working water wheel, and even slate cutting demonstrations and documentaries. There's just so much to see here and a really great place to visit. Now, heading just outside of the Slate Museum is number 3, which is the village of Lllanberis itself. So this village is hugely popular and for good reasons. It's located at the foot of Mount Snowdon and the views from here are just spectacular. You can also get the Lllanberis Railway from here up to the summit of Snowdon if you want to see the views from the top but you don't want to walk. And the village is also located on the shore of Padarn, which leads me straight on to my next point. So Padarn is one of the largest natural lakes in Wales. It's around 2 miles long and is home to 2 things that I definitely recommend that you do. The first is that it is a very popular water sports location, so you can hire paddleboards and go floating around the lake, or even just go for a swim if you fancy. We went in June and the water was surprisingly warm considering that the sun is usually never out in Wales, but there was a lot of swimmers and it was a really great place to do some water sports. And the second Padarn related thing that I suggest that you do is actually located right on the shore of Padarn and is often considered one of the best views in Snowdonia. And this place is known as the Lonely Tree. With views over the entirety of the Llanberis Pass, it is pretty incredible. If you do want to avoid the crowds of swimmers and just everyone trying to see this epic view, make sure to either go really early in the morning or late in the evening for an epic view. And in fact, out of those 2 options, morning is probably preferable because then you can see an epic sunrise coming up over the Llanberis Valley and it's just amazing. Now, everything on the list up until this point has been completely free as well, which is a bonus, but now we're on to our first non-free thing of the video, which is Penrhyn Castle. So don't let the name deceive you because this isn't actually a castle, but rather the humongous house of 1st Baron Penrhyn, who was in fact the owner of all the local slate quarries in Snowdonia. You can in fact see an original painting of the miners working inside the quarry, which is located inside the house. So this man was actually the 3rd richest man in the world before he died in 1808, and this house slash castle would have cost him £150,000 to build, which today would actually be equivalent to around 50 million. So it's alright for some. But the attention to detail is just incredible, and the grounds provide a really nice scenic walk as well. The inside of the castle is equally impressive though, complete with a grand staircase that took 6 skilled Italians around 10 years to build. And to be honest, when we saw the staircase for the first time, it's just amazing. The intricacies and attention to detail was mind-blowing. Now onto the 6th point, and we are heading back to the quarry again, but this time not to a museum. We are heading up into the hills, into Dinorwic Slate Quarry itself. Now you can actually park really close to Dinorwic itself, and it's probably about a 10-minute really flat, really easy walk, you know, to start seeing the quarry and actually get to one of my favourite viewpoints of Snowdonia, which is this viewpoint here. And from here you can get a 360-degree view all over the town of Llanberis and Llyn Padarn. You can also see Dolbadarn Castle from here, which is another free thing that you can visit if you want. But this quarry was abandoned in 1969 and it was just so surreal. Definitely one of my favourite things that we did on this trip to Snowdonia, and I totally recommend it. You can do a longer walk all around Dinorwic Quarry and see what you find. There are so many old abandoned buildings littered all over the hillsides, and it's a great stop to round off our full exploration of the Welsh slate mining industry. Now this leads me on to another castle, but this time it's a real one, which is Caernarfon Castle. Now this one is spectacularly massive with incredible coastal views stretching all the way over to Anglesey. I would probably stretch this point even further to suggest a visit to the entire town of Caernarfon. It's a walled town and all of the old walls are still intact and they stretch all around it. It's definitely a great place to spend a few hours and just see what you can find here. And if you go in the evening like we did, you get an incredible sunset as well over Anglesey, which is amazing to see. Now we're heading over to the other side of Snowdonia, to the amazing small village of Betws-y-Coed. Now this is another great place to spend a couple hours with some great scenic river walks, and on a hot day a great place to maybe get in the river. There are some gorgeous waterfalls under the bridge going through the village and a car park right next to it for easy accessibility as well. And just up the road from here, probably about a short 5-minute drive from Betws-y-Coed, is a small cafe nicknamed the Ugly House. But I totally disagree, because this location is just so gorgeous, with a very small but very colourful woodland area surrounding it, and the unique design of the house makes this just another really great place to visit and maybe stop off along your way. Now getting close to the end now of my list, but I have a beach suggestion this time. Dinas Dinlle. Now this is a very quiet and very peaceful beach with some great scenery. From the nearby ruins of an old hill fort you can actually see down into the Llyn Peninsula, which, by the way, is another great place that you can go and explore if you want to see some more epic beaches. It's just gorgeous there. From here you can also see back into Snowdonia and up into Anglesey again. Just a very small and quiet beach, but very close to Snowdonia and very tranquil too. And finally, number 10 on my list, less of a place, more of an activity suggestion that I suggest you do, and that is, if you're in Snowdonia, just hike. Just hike absolutely everywhere, because you never know what you'll find. There is something on every corner, and there are so many unlisted things here as well that you would probably never find otherwise. Just, if you see a walk, park up and just have an explore, because there is so many great views around every corner and you will never be disappointed with what you see in Snowdonia. And with that, that sums up the video. So please subscribe if you enjoyed, it really means a lot. And I've got another Snowdonia video coming up very soon where we go into even more detail about some of these places and our quest to find the best view in Snowdonia. So yep, subscribe and stay tuned for that if you're interested. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and maybe it gave you some ideas if you're visiting Snowdonia soon. Let me know if you feel like I missed anything off the list, because I'm sure I did. And I will also link the first part of my top 10 things to do in Snowdonia down in the description as well. So yes, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
Very good. You're such a good contribution to the video.
I know. I was here for the start and for the end.
That goes full circle. That is narrative for you.